What's happening? How we doing? Hope you're really good. Welcome to Monday morning show. We're going to be looking at a different state of mind in terms of the questions that we're asking ourselves to get to the end outcome that we're looking for. So I'm going to go through the different types of mentalities that we go through, the different states of mind, and the different questions and how they lead on to a much different a different outcome. So, like if you're looking to achieve your goals and your aspirations and your directions, I'm going to show you maybe how you are asking the wrong questions. Okay. Let me just put this up here to help a little bit with the light. Boom. Okay, that's better. Let's move that there. Cool. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I'm your host, James Boardman. If you are coming through, then please do let me know just by commenting that you're watching or hitting the love heart button. Cool. So let's get into it. So there are two different types of emotional state. There is the low emotional state, and then there is the high emotional state. So the low emotional state is one of when we are feeling quite low, when we're feeling quite dejected, when we're feeling kind of like nothing's going our way. Why isn't it happening? And then there is the high emotional state. Now, the high emotional state is when we know what's wrong. We just need to figure out how we go about changing that. And when we're in these two different states, what we do is we ask two different types of questions. So I'm going to go through scenarios with you so that you can see this. Okay. So I'm just going to move the camera here so that you can see the two different routes. So hopefully this is turned backwards for you, but if not, this is more for my reference and you can just pick it up as we go along. All right. So in a low emotional state. So when we were in Barcelona last week, we were working with a group of business owners. And one of the first things I asked them to do was ask themselves, what are the top three questions that they are consistently asking themselves at the minute in everyday life? And this is one of the questions that came up quite a lot. Okay, so one of the first questions was, why am I procrastinating so much? Okay, so let's get into this and unpack this. So when we go here, we go, why am I procrastinating so much? Okay, what we're doing is we're going into this low emotional state funnel. So it comes down here and we go, well, why am I procrastinating so much? Is because I lack focus. I don't know how to focus. I don't know necessarily how to focus on something, so I procrastinate on it. Okay, and then we go, well, why? And then you come down here and you go, I don't know what I want out of life. I'm too busy with work. Why? Because we're on poor planning. And what ends up happening here is we're not solving anything. What we're doing is just manifesting in all of the reasons about why we're not where we are. Does that make sense? So when we're in this low emotional state, we're not really putting ourselves in a position that allows us to grow, that allows us to understand ourselves better personally, professionally, whether it's in our business, whether it's in our personal life. We're not actually answering the questions. We're just constantly challenging ourselves with why. We're unpacking. Okay. So what we really need to be able to do is ask the question that allows us to that gives us an answer. And we want the answers, okay, because we want the steps. We want to know how to get out of this process. We want to not procrastinate anymore. So we can keep going around in that kind of negative cycle about all the things that are not happening and why they're not happening. Like we know that are not happening, but we want to set a plan and a blueprint to how we change that. So we change the question from why am I procrastinating to how do I overcome procrastination? So it becomes more of a direct question that demands an answer. It's a high emotional state. It's like, right, I want to solve this. How do I solve this? So when we go into this, how do I overcome procrastination? We go to, right, okay, step one, get clear on what needs doing. Okay, that's what I need to do. I'll go away and figure out what I need to do. Two, we become accountable. Three, we join a community. Four, we build a morning routine. Five, we use a journal. Okay, if I started that with why am I always procrastinating, we wouldn't necessarily come up with these outcomes. But because we're asking the right questions, the answer is building the process that you need to follow to get the outcome that you're looking for. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? So it might be, why do I never lose weight? Why do I never lose weight? And you're trying to find the answers to all of that, and it becomes, oh well, I'm not showing up, or I'm not tracking my calories, or I'm not doing the right amount of workouts, and we become very victimy and pity in that cycle. Or we could turn around here and go, okay, how do I lose 5 pounds? Okay, so I need to go away and get myself a food plan. I need to go and track my calories. I need to get a exercise journal. So and an exercise diary. I need to plan in my workouts. So we have a step-by-step guide. And instead of trying to figure out why, we're creating the how. And the how is what leads us to the outcome. Okay. So if you like, it could be like, why am I not making enough money in my business versus how do I make an extra 2, 10, 15, 20,000 pound in my business? Again, the how here taps into that high emotional state, like where we're above the sea line. Okay. So if you always think about waves that are coming in and a surfer, somebody who is asking why all the time is going to probably constantly crash in. Like, well, why do I keep crashing into this wave? Or how do I surf the wave and find the points that lead to the process? Because that's what we're trying to find, is the process. When you're in the process gets you the outcome that you're looking for. So whenever you ask yourself something, so why is this not happening? Turn around and go, how do I change that? Okay. So any question that you might have this morning that you can think of in terms of examples, and kind of what are the top 3 questions that you keep asking yourself? Why am I always overthinking? Why do I always have low self-esteem? We can turn those around and go, how do I stop overthinking? How do I build more self-esteem? They're just a lot more positive in a direction that you're going to go, and the things that you need to achieve to move you forwards. And it's a great tip, and it's a great focus to be able to do that. Does that make sense for everybody? Cool. All right. So in terms of the show and the future of the show, guys, we are, I'm going to be going away for 2 weeks on Thursday for holiday. And then I'm going to be away, and then we're going to come back. And I think I'm going to be doing my next show on the 12th of April. But what I'm going to do is almost schedule 2 weeks worth of shows with the links to join the shows, and send them out and put them out right across all of my social media. So you'll be able to plan and know what we're going to be talking about and what the links are to come and join the live specifically. Okay. So I'm going to be back on the 12th of April. Then we're going to have a really good run for the next second series of the year in terms of the show. We're going to run them in series. So every time there's a school holiday, we'll probably break up for a series. So we're going into series 2 of the year from the 12th of April. Stick it in your diaries. I will get a list up with all the links of the shows that we're going to be covering and the subjects, and then you can plan ahead and make sure that you got them in your diaries. Okay. And if I've got members that are watching, we'll be putting that up in the school community as well, so that you know exactly what's coming up and when you can join them. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Easter, great bank holiday. You take some time for yourself. Remember, don't get into the habit of asking why, ask how, and see how that changes your process. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Love the support, and I'll see you soon.